Greetings, fellow Begonids, and welcome back to Crusader Kings 2. Now, there's a little bit of a controversy on the first episode. I asked if people would be into the anime faces or not when it came to this game. This is just called the Anime Portraits mod, patch 2.6x or something like that. And I want to, for those of you who aren't really a fan of the anime faces, I want to make a case for it. Maybe I can change your opinion about it, just because I know that it's something I wasn't really sold on either when, like, I thought about it, because I was like, yeah, I want, like, the historical faces, and I want to be able to, like, you know, just kind of immerse myself in that. But here's what I would posit, and what I really like about this mod. I think that the art in this mod is a lot more expressive than the faces that you normally get in you know, vanilla CK2. And more to the point, there was at one point a better portraits mod, but it didn't carry over into the Reaper's Due. Like, the guy who made the mod basically just stopped, he gave up on it after a certain point, and so it doesn't really work anymore with the game. Whereas this one is actually updated and keeps up with things. Now, so first of all, the one thing I really like about this mod that adds to the portraits is, like, now obviously you could say, like, okay, well, the old portraits look like potatoes, like, it's easy to say that and, like, you know, make fun of it, but, like, on a more serious note, one thing I would argue about the anime portraits is that they are a lot more expressive than the vanilla portraits, and here's exactly what I mean. So our character is slothful, he's shy, he's zealous, he's honest, and he's content. I thought he was humble at one point, but apparently not. You know, we're not a very good character, are we? But, like, you can kind of glean that from, like, his eyes, right? Like, he's got kind of this, sort of this relaxed, like, face that you could see that, like, maybe he doesn't really want to talk to people, he doesn't really, you know, he's not a very, like, forward person, and that kind of shows in, like, his diplomacy, right? He's just not a very exceptional human being, is he? Now, if we take a look at his wife, Flamula, I like how much more, like, expression that there is that you can actually, like, tell by looking at it. So, like, for example, let's take a look at her personality traits. She's patient, she's content, she's just, she's lustful, and she's gregarious. So she's actually really good at talking to people, because she's a Grey Eminence. So she kind of has, like, this, you know, this kind of, like, hopeful glint in her eye. She's got kind of this, you know, quirky smile that she's got going on. She's got a little bit of blush underneath her eyes, but she's 41, and you can kind of tell, just this little mark right here, you can tell that, like, she's kind of, you know, she's getting up there in age, you know, for medieval times. But, and, you know, by comparison, if we look at our first daughter here, Ermengardi's, she's just, patient, honest, but believes she's possessed. And she has kind of, like, this, like, cynical look about her, right? Like, she's just, maybe her demon is out today, you know, the personal one inside of her that's making her go crazy. Unfortunate that she is possessed, you know, goodness knows what that's actually going to do to her. I almost feel like we should make her take the vows for doing that, since we are zealous, and that would be the kind of thing that we would probably do, I would think. So anyway, I want to make a case for this. We're gonna run with this for a few episodes, because I do record a few episodes at a time when I do these series, which is why I didn't make the change immediately. We're gonna run with it for a few episodes. If there is enough negative feedback that, like, enough people are like, I cannot do this series with this on, like, then I will change it back, since I think that people are gonna be more likely to quit watching because of the anime faces than they would be to quit watching if we use the vanilla faces. Unfortunately, it's just the way of things, but like I said, I hope I made a good case for this. I do just love how much more expressive these faces are in terms of role-playing, I find, than the, like, vanilla ones. And even if we, like, look at our liege, like, he's got kind of like this, like, let's see his personality. So he's a flamboyant schemer in terms of his education. He's also shy, humble, temperate, and kind. So he's kind of got, like, this, like, intrigue kind of face going on, where he's, you know, looks like he's a little bit, like, he's up to no good, right? Like, I don't know, I really like it, and there's some really, like, and the funny thing is, like, when you get, like, the fat-faced people, there aren't nearly as many of them. Let's see if we can actually find one right now, because there actually are still fat-faced people in this mod. Funny, I go to the Slavic provinces because that's usually, like, where they are. I won't worry about it. Anyway, now, the interesting thing about this is, like, in Crusader Kings 2, normally, the game makes it so that when you have children, it actually has, like, a genetic system. It attempts to create, like, a genetic, like, look so that, like, your children will actually look like you. And this game this mod follows the same like logic. So like a lot of work was put into this. Anyway, I think I've belabored the point enough. I've gone on for 5 minutes about why I think this portraits mod is actually kind of decent. Again, if you really don't approve after the argument that I've made, and you feel like it's literally going to make this series unwatchable for you, you know, please think about that. Please, you know, because there are a lot of people who would like this on as well. So we'll just take a head count on this episode and see what's going on. It's probably going to go on for like the next 2 or 3 episodes. You know, so I apologize, but if enough people say they hate it on this episode, I will probably change it back the next time that I start a new recording session. Anyway, let's get on to actually playing the game. Now, we have just usurped the province of Roseo, which is great news. Now, let's see. I believe, yeah, this count here has the same liege as us. He has a levy of 378. And this count over here has an even bigger levy at 398. Do we have any other, you know, men that we could possibly seek to, you know, take some land from? Let's see. What other count level vassals does our Duke have? He's got us, of course. He's got the Count of Carcassonne. Let's see. Where are you? You're in. Are you a baron in Toulouse? But Rouge. Some of these province names, that's crazies. Oh, here we go, Carcassonne. So is that the same guy? Nope, this is a completely different guy, who has a different liege. Fair enough. So here's another count. We could fabricate on this guy. He's only got 328 troops, which is even less than the last one. So yeah, I say we go ahead and fabricate a claim on this small guy here in Foix, I believe is the pronunciation. You know, I feel we should commend our chancellor for a job very well done. Yeah, for doing the the fabrication of the claim. Why doesn't he like us very much? We refused his counsel and we're slothful. I mean, that makes sense. We have a lot of people who don't particularly like us, but we don't have a lot of people who hate us either. So. I think we're in a good position as far as that goes. This mayor doesn't like us because we fired him. He's going to get over it pretty quickly, though, which is, pretty fine. Slow the game down just a little bit. All right, Sicliard has died a natural death at the age of 59, so we're going to need a new marshal. Unfortunately, none of these marshals are really that effective. People keep telling me to not hire people. But for 6 gold and 25 prestige, I think I can justify hiring a guy with 13 martial. I just think it's so important to get these, good advisors and good people as early as possible. Now, it would likely be more effective to put this guy in Roseo just to get that extra levy regeneration speed, but at the same time, I think it would be better for us if we actually kept promoting in Narbonne just to get that extra levy size. Now, one thing we could consider doing with our daughter Iberia, I'm not too keen. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead with what I said with our daughter Ermengardas, and we are going to order her to take the vows, as it were, because I don't see her ending well, considering she's possessed. Might mean she does some crazy stuff. Now, I don't know if there's anything we can do with her as a result of doing that, but, I'm pretty okay with it. She is a nun. Hopefully she doesn't sleep around. Now, we could arrange a marriage for our daughter Iberia. Now, one thing we could consider doing is marrying her off to someone matrilineally, just for the sole purpose of increasing our dynasty size. That being said, we have 3 sons and a daughter. And that means that, we're in a pretty good position anyway, as far as, heirs go and making people have babies. But let's take a look. Let's see if there's anyone who would accept a matrilineal marriage around here, just to kind of expand our dynasty. Obviously, most of these people are going to be courtiers. There's almost none of these people, if any of them, are going to have any good ranks. So that's going to cost us and our daughter prestige, but... like I said, I think it's important. This guy here, he's a bastard, but he's also a genius. He's only 4 years younger than our daughter, and I mean, if we can get some geniuses in our dynasty, we may end up playing as them someday, which would be like really good. And this guy is a Catholic. He's a Lombard, so he's a different culture than our daughter. Our daughter is also a theologian. I'm not sure how this happened. Man, if anyone, we probably should have turned her into the nun, right? But is this guy is he fertile at all, apart from being a genius? I don't think he is. He's not. So that would actually make it quite difficult for them to have children, as it were. It may be better to just marry her for a regular alliance, as it were. We could actually marry her to the Doge of Venice, but the Doge of Venice hates her because he is a Lollard. He's probably also, yeah, unfortunately he's a zealous and he's a heretic. That's just a bad combination. There is this Irish chief we could marry her off to, but I don't really see that being of much use to us. We have this dying 8-year-old boy we could betroth her to. I don't really see that being a good thing. We could marry her to the Count of Orleans, who is a pretty good intrigue guy. I'm not sure how I feel about that because I'm not 100% on how these claims work, but that might give him a claim on our province, and so that would lead him to him trying to murder us, and obviously that would be like a bad thing if that were to happen. We could marry her to this detached priest, who is the Earl of Wiltshire. He's Anglo-Saxon. How many troops does he have? He's got 400. It's okay, I guess. Yeah, do any of these have like a good levy? Even like Crazy Intrigue guy? He's got like 256. Yeah, most of these people are small, insignificant allies. And this daughter, she really isn't going to give us like that many sons if she were to be matrilineally married. I am regretting a little bit our decision to turn Ermengardas into a nun, but I mean, she is possessed, and we're a zealous character. Was kind of my like rationale on that. It's a like 9,000% a role-playing reason, for sure. That's why we're doing that to her, just to, you know, because we believe she's possessed. So why would we do anything with her? I don't really know what to do with Iberia apart from marry her to like another priest or just somebody, you know. Let's see if there's anyone of her age that like we could marry her off to like get a decent alliance. A lot of babies around. This guy's a Grey Eminence. He's only a courtier though. So marrying her to him wouldn't really do anything, would it? He might be... He's not even in like an heir or anything like that. He wouldn't accept a matrilineal... He's the heir to something. He has a strong claim on the barony of that he's in, but he's not the heir. I don't know what this is. Let's just marry her. I think this is fine. He's homosexual. They're not likely to have they're extremely unlikely to have children. And I doubt he's going to do anything to actually like bring people over. I mean, he's homosexual. He's also a Grey Eminence, so I don't know. Combined with our daughter's lack of fertility as well, from being a mastermind theologian for whatever reason, I don't know. It could result in something for us. I almost want to marry her to the this baron here, considering his wife is dying. However, he also has cancer. Go figure. Oh, this guy is his liege's brother, so he's just kind of chilling around in court. That's what he's doing. I don't know. Maybe we could find a better. You know, we're kind of playing matchmaker here, but I mean that's like the fun of CK2, right? Is doing that sort of thing. We gotta find a good husband for our lovely daughter. No one else will do. We do have this Frankish guy. He's a marshal with no land, naturally. We also have this Frankish guy, who's actually a count. He's the heir to the county of Rennes, which could actually give us a claim. Now that I look at it, or at the very least give us an alliance. Count of Nantes. Let's choose him. He would accept the marriage. Let's go ahead and do it. He is Midas touched, which also might produce children, which is acceptable, you know. Count Seguin of Nantes. Would he accept an alliance? I wonder. Let's go to our pack He only has 283 men in his levy, but you know that could be a tipping point in a war that we go into, or at the very least, it could just be. Oh no, our amazingly good steward has died. This is tragic. We'll mourn his loss as we go to the screen to recruit another noble. Now somebody, I think it was in the second episode, recommended that we actually, like, we don't do this because it's, like, kind of not worth it, but my logic and reasoning on it is, anytime somebody has a good score in something, they're already, like, appointed to whatever position that they would be useful for, so, like... Alright, our son-in-law has accepted our proposal for an alliance. Alright, so we're getting this event, I think, because of our rulership focus. We're really bad at stewardship, despite being in, you know, having an education that leads us to it. Go figure, right? But anyway, to improve your stewardship and better learn how to administrate a realm, it strikes you that it might be a good idea to conduct a survey of the land. Trustworthy men would have to be sent out to every corner of your domains and record their findings. This information will then be collected into a single great tome. So we could write this Tome of Judgment, or we feared it would be a waste of time. Let's do a survey of the land. Perhaps it will improve our stewardship capabilities. Alright, we could educate our son. I think we were educating him how to be a steward, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, we could spend 40 gold to gain 30 prestige and potentially gain 1 learning, which is kind of useless. So I think we're going to ignore that. The prestige is nice, but I have more important things to do. Alright, let's educate our son once again in the ways of stewardship. Definitely not in the ways of intrigue. You know, excuse you for suggesting that. This is our son, Sans. I believe we were training him because when our Chancellor died is when we got the pop-up to do that. I think I'm going to disable these, you know, shut the gates, close the gates pop-ups because, typically, it's pretty easy to tell when there's an epidemic raging through the countryside, so... oh! It's the beginning of the Viking Age. Oh dear. Could be dangerous. I doubt it for us, since we're kind of in a safer place overall, but, you know, something to be concerned about. Alright, our liege wants to appoint us once again. He doesn't like us. But that's okay. I'm not really upset. He has 1.32k men, but at some point we're probably going to have more than him and overthrow him, take his title. Here in southern Francia, or West Francia, which is just actually a really big country. The men you sent out to survey the land have returned. You now have a precise count of the households, down to how many cows they own. This was a wise initiative, and your stewardship ability has increased. The count sees all. We get 2 stewardship, which is amazing. Now, if we could get up to 8 stewardship, that would be even better, because then we would actually be able to have another province under our domain, or domain, I should say. Alright, we could adopt the steward's ideas for 3 gold, but we don't generate any technology as a count, so I don't think this is worth it. Now, oh, by the way, just saw the first episode. So what I think we're going to do is we are actually going to study technology in Constantinople. People brought up the point that, like, yeah, you're not generating any technology. At the same time, though, getting that 50 extra points here and there is still going to be useful even while you're not generating technology. So that's going to be our logic on that one. We could try to convert or recruit a court physician. But by the way, one thing I didn't realize that's kind of funny is apparently Paradox, a guy named Paradox NG, is also doing this campaign, like this exact same start and character, which I didn't realize, and it's kind of a big deal because this guy is a Visigoth. Totally by accident, had no idea he was doing the campaign, but anyway, an envoy from the city of Côte-Lieu arrived with news regarding your search for a physician. The envoy told you of a promising medical student named Garcia. The young man managed to save the life of one of the daughters of an important local trader not long ago, and apparently she only lost an eye in the process. Only an eye. Coercing him to join your court would be an easy task. He's young but skilled. He is not skilled at all. He's got 7 learning. He is a terrible physician. My goodness. He cut her eye out, for crying out loud. It's not making it better at all. At any rate, I think this is a good place to pause for now. We spent a lot of time matchmaking and honestly just trying to convince people to go for the anime. Like I said, we're going to run it for a couple more episodes if you don't like it. I will probably disable it if, you know, enough people say that they don't like it after a certain point. So if you're one of those people and I do that, you know, keep an eye out for a couple episodes from now and we'll see how we get there. If not, I mean, I really like these portraits, if I'm being honest, and I should probably do what I want to do, but I do want to get a lay of the land, see what people think. So, at any rate, next episode I'm not going to talk about it at all, and we'll just see what happens. So, until then, my fellow Begonids, as our dynasty expands, and my loyal council, I will see you on the next one.